It's 6:30. We'll go ahead and call this meeting to order. Miss Amanda, if you will, call the roll.
Commissioner Harbert?
Here.
Commissioner Shipley? Here. Commissioner Schofield?
Here.
Commissioner Giannini?
Here, ma'am.
Commissioner Moore?
Here.
Commissioner Smith?
Here. All right, we have all members present, so I do determine we do have a quorum. First thing up on the agenda is the approval of the minutes from the July 21st, 2022 meeting that we had.
So moved.
Have a motion to approve by Commissioner Moore.
Second.
Do we have a second? Second by Commissioner Harbor. We have any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Next up is for the reports for code enforcement. Do I have any questions on the report? Mr. Sparky is present today. You got this tiny print. Hold on. How are we doing as far as, I know we had an issue there for yard compliances with yards.
It's been ebb and flow. There'll be times when everybody's compliant, and then it'll go, you'll have the same 5 or 6 that I'm not going to deal with. But with the rain that we've had, obviously, yards are growing a little bit more, people can't get them cut, but it hasn't been as bad as it was at the beginning of the summer.
I've got one question.
Yes, sir.
My neighbor, Angel Heating and Air.
Right there at the roundabout,
Yep.
I've said something to it twice.
They still own that building? Somebody told me they sold.
Danny
They
Goldberg.
may have because it's overgrown and it's just, looks all.
I think their name's still on the building, but I believe
Yeah.
it's new owner.
It's not.
No, Danny Goldberg owns it.
Yeah.
That's who I sent the notice to last
Okay.
time.
Is it Air, sir?
No.
Angel Air is on the building, but he's saying Danny Goldberg.
He owns the property.
Yeah. Is it just, didn't he just recently buy it, or?
I don't remember the
Yes.
purchase date, but I think
Yeah.
so.
Don't
Same
give
gold
a
ring.
little,
Excuse me.
That's his son.
you can't give a little leniency to the elementary school I'm working on. I've been cutting that grass.
Wait a minute, what?
Why did the school board cut their
Why
grass?
did the school board cut the grass?
They lost their maintenance guy, so I'm gonna go over there on the weekend and stuff. Me and Lisa Rose and her husband out there. We got it checked now.
Okay.
Any other questions? Mr. Doherty? Seeing none, we'll move on to old business. We have, Ms. Karen came up and it's for a minor plat request. You should have that in your packets. So Ms. Amanda, do you wanna give a little previous history or you want me to?
This item was up, before the planning commission back in December of 2020. And the planning commission gave a positive recommendation to the board. It went to the board, and this was only for the rezoning, it was not for the minor because it was an existing lot. When it went to the board, then the board, the code official at that time, advised the board that, more land would be needed, and we needed to verify the sewer, what was going on with the sewer. So, then it was tabled, and that was in January of 2021 that it was tabled. So Ms. Karen had, went through the process, which was a little, a little hard to get that sewer, verified, made sure everything was good. We kinda went around the loop, so it took a good while. I tried to assist the best that I could. She was able to get that verified and, confirmed, and then her mother, actually, quitclaimed part of the land to make sure that she was able to meet that required land that they had discussed. The board minutes do not actually, go into detail about that. That was just from my recollection of what occurred during that minute, or during that meeting of January that year.
And I recall that as well, being the discussion.
So
Ms. Karen, it's good to see
you need a new recommendation to the board just because of the length of time? Or?
So you need, technically, you've changed the size of that plot, so it really is new. I was
Okay.
just, giving you the history of why it's new.
Okay.
Because of the size of the lot has changed, so it is this one is the minor plat. So the first actual approval would be just the minor plat, accepting those two pieces of land to be one piece of land.
Okay.
That's what this first item is. The second would be the rezoning, which would be a recommendation to the board.
Yeah, I'm looking at these, they're two separate items altogether, so I really think that the minor plat should be, just for record keeping, put under new business, since it hasn't come to us before. Can we make that change to the agenda somehow, to move the
Absolutely.
minor plat to new business? I think we can still discuss it first, I assume, but just for clarification, since it has not been here before and we haven't spoke on it.
Is there any objection to moving the items to new business?
Not just the minor plat item.
Just the minor plat?
Yeah.
Okay. Everybody good with that? Okay. And Miss Karen's also here if anyone has any questions for her. It's nice to see you again, Miss Karen.
She's the one that done.
Ben, do you have any thoughts on this?
I do not. That Todd has given it a good recommendation. So,
I'll make the motion. Do we approve this?
So with this, for the minor plat, would go to the board, and so we can either table it,
Recommendation.
or we can give a positive or negative recommendation. I'm
Minor
sorry.
plat stays here, and then we just
Yeah.
report it.
Rezoning, yeah.
Yes.
All right.
So I'm sorry, but yes.
So, yes.
no,
So we do need a motion.
Yes.
We needed a motion to approve the minor plat.
That's my motion.
Okay.
Okay, so we have a motion by Commissioner Moore to approve
Okay.
the minor plat at 673 Maple Drive. Okay, do we have a second?
Second.
All right, we have a second by Commissioner Smith. Is there any other discussion on the matter? All right, hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Okay, now we'll move on to the rezoning request from residential to neighborhood commercial, 673 Maple Drive. Okay, does staff have any comments?
I think I kind of grouped it up together, but if you need me to.
I
Yes,
was gonna say,
there is in your packet, that staff report from Orion, Bob, with Orion.
And seems like I recall, I know it doesn't really matter for rezoning, you gotta consider all potential uses, but this was for like, was it a doggy daycare
Exactly.
facility?
And then the site plan would actually come as a different item at a later time.
Okay. And so, when there was this minor plat, assuming I guess it's been approved tonight, so it can move forward and get recorded, once it gets recorded, then this rezoning will only be rezoning a portion of the lot. That's what we want to do, is so it'll be a split lot, or split zoning on a single lot.
Actually, the lot will be 2.5 acres.
Right.
But right now,
At first
it's,
it was a half acre, and I needed another half acre,
yeah,
but I just went ahead and took the property line all the way back, so it's 2.5, or 2.3, I think.
okay, but the way I read it, the request, and that's what I just wanna clarify, is just for the current 107.06, parcel, which
Right.
is only, 1 acre or so. But you're saying so basically the whole lot that would be created with your replat is what you want rezoned?
Exactly.
And the drawing, on it shows, the adjustment to that lot. I do believe that, after speaking with Bob, that he might have misunderstood, because that's, the whole point was to make sure that it would be rezoned as part 2. If you look at part 2 on his report.
Oh, okay, on the back page.
You see where it says the 2.3 acres and not the original.
Alright, so I'll make a motion that we provide a positive recommendation to the mayor and board of aldermen for the requested rezone, for the, I guess, entirety of lot one as shown in the proposed minor subdivision plat for Karen Stokes, as discussed on the previous agenda item.
Okay, so we have a motion by Commissioner Moore, do we have a second?
I'll second.
I've got
Second by
one
Commissioner.
comment.
Go ahead.
I'm not sure if it really matters, it may just be a technical error, but on the back of the rezoning application, under TDEC approval, if required, it's got State of Tennessee Department of Environmental, blah, blah, blah. Approval is hereby granted to lot one defined as Karen Stokes minor subdivision, Fayette County, Tennessee, as being suitable.
Okay,
Let's do that.
Where is that?
so,
Under
tell me again.
TDEC approval if required.
Yeah.
So we, in the motion, you can,
So you
say
would
with
be,
that correction.
you be comfortable with amending your motion to make the correction from Fayette County to Tipton County?
Well, that's on the plat, that's not on the rezoning.
Oh, I see.
I got you, you're right, you're right.
These are two separate sheets.
But,
I guess we can do that at the board.
well, the plat won't go to the board. Either way, I mean, that,
Can we just correct it?
yeah, I think it should be corrected, it's,
Without having
no additions.
going
You wanna
through
make
rigmarole?
You wanna make an additional motion?
We have to go back to that item after we get done with this one.
Can we do that?
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah,
Make it clear.
since you haven't made the motion in regards to this rezoning, if you can do, if someone can make a motion to amend the motion for the minor plat with that correction,
We do have a motion for the rezoning and a second. We're in discussion.
Yeah.
The rezoning.
okay.
But we can go back out with this.
Can it just be fixed?
It's not that,
You adopted it
It's
as
clearly
it was
not-
presented, I think.
Yeah.
Clearly, yeah, but
The
like-
verbiage, but it
I
should
mean,
be
it's
just a matter of process. Just
So Matthew
motion to fix it.
did it,
we'll
who
go,
was in Oakland,
let's finish up with the rezoning and then we can go back.
Yeah. that's why it says.
Any other
Fayette.
discussion on the rezoning? All right, hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. All right, so we can wear the miscellaneous items for the planning commission anyway. So you wanna look at the minor plat?
So make a motion to revisit.
Here, I'd like to, I guess, revisit my motion on the first item for the replat and include that the reference to Fayette County on the TDEC approval should be changed to Tipton County.
Okay, so we have a motion by Commissioner Moore. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Jennings. Is there any other discussion on that? Hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Any other miscellaneous items from the planning commission?
I would just say, before she continues with her plat and spending money on engineer fees, is there any concern on the sewer side with the bunker issue?
It's not serviced by
This is-
public sewer.
It's not serviced by
That's
public sewer,
separate.
she's gonna be on separate, okay. Good deal.
So now, that's the short answer.
Okay, that's it. I have a couple of other things, Commissioner.
Yes, sir.
One, it appears that AirServe is currently doing a large addition in the back of their building, as well as like some fence poles are going up. I was able to confirm with Mark that a permit had been pulled for those items. I guess my question is, it appears there looks like they're building a pole barn in the back.
It just looks horrible.
And, you know, again, I've never seen a pole barn bricked. And so I guess I'm just concerned that we're gonna have this big massive thing over the fence that's metal. And I didn't know if that typically would come before the planning commission, since it's actually a site, change in the site.
You know, this is what I don't understand about any of that. All the storage people, that.
They had to do
did a
brick and wall,
Yeah,
We-
fabulous
we put
job
them
they've
through the-
done. We put them through the ringer on that. And this is just a piece of junk over there, you know, and it makes all of that hard work that the storage company did, just like they didn't have to do it. it just looks awful. And, and, you know, you know, I know that that's not your issue, and it was, you know, previously done. And, you know, Shelley tried to go over there and get it fixed as much as she possibly could, but he hasn't even done what he told her he would do with her. So, and, you know, I don't know why we continue to have to put up with stuff that looks like that just because of somebody else, but anyway, I'm not gonna get into all of that, but
I just
it
wanted
just
some
seems like
guidance
there's
on-
something that can
Right.
be done with it. It just looks horrendous over there. You know, they're parking on the grass, they're parking everywhere, they got cars for sale now in the front of it. You know, it's just,
Really?
yes,
There's a Jeep for sale out front of it.
yes,
I saw it on the way up here.
yeah. I mean, you know, it just seems like whatever line they can cross, they're gonna get real close to it, and you know, he wouldn't even come in. We sent him a couple of letters to come in to the planning commission, he never even acknowledged it, so I don't know what we can do.
I mean, the last time, I'm sorry, I didn't cut you off, was we were kind of forced on the container and the fence issue, is, he said, hey, we're getting ready to do an expansion, we need to grow.
Yeah,
And I just thought that, hey, that building expansion, again, that
And
site
those
plan would come
containers.
before us, you know, for at least a, you know,
yeah,
review.
something.
It's considered an accessory structure.
Mhm.
So if you guys.
We need to change our code on
Yeah.
the size of our
100%,
accessory structure.
100%, it needs to be reviewed by you guys to say, what do you want that accessory structure to be?
Well,
do you-
what do
you
we
know,
have to do that, Amanda?
Bring it, before you guys to start breaking it down, but we are in the process of the long-range comp plan, right? So we have to, we're hoping before the end of the year that we will actually have tangible documents that will match our long-range comp plan.
So
Instead of,
nothing can be done about that now.
According to the building code, there's no size limit on an accessory structure.
Ah, you're right.
and you can have, you know, I think that Shelley was able to limit how many can be on lots now. We're used to, you can have as many as you want, especially in commercial. In
Right.
general commercial, if you look at those requirements, you have very little, leeway on making them do certain things, just like down the corner. You know, you're governed by that document, and
We
that's
just
what
gotta
you
find a
can
way to
enforce.
change that document.
That's right, well, hopefully, when we get those tangible documents with that long-range
I
comp
want a
plan.
quick fix for this, though.
It
And there's
will
no
fall
quick
in.
fix?
No,
So
no,
you're
no.
looking at tangible
What's his fence
documents
plan? What's
that will
his-
go over
you know-
something
No, he
else?
plans on fencing it, and, he did,
Yeah,
because,
for real. He said that
Mark and I
forever.
actually went out there and talked to
Hold on.
him about what he
Yeah.
had said that he would do as far as, painting that,
Mhm.
that Connex box and putting the fence up. And, just in conversation, you know, I did say, you said that, you know, that you were gonna at least paint this thing and get a fence up. So now the Connex box has been painted, that brown,
Mm.
where it doesn't look
Oh,
like
that
just
makes
a.
it look a lot better.
I totally understand, I'm just, you know, we have what we have to try to work with and do the best that we can.
I know, man.
And then
I know.
the fence, at least it's gonna buffer it to where it isn't this obnoxious as much.
I mean,
from
it
the
makes the
road.
storage building over there look like,
Yep.
you know. And I was so proud of how that storage, you know, how they did that. It just looks so nice over there. And air service just ruined that whole lot, the whole area there. With no concern about how it looks or anything, just making some money, expanding. Okay, I'm done.
I was just curious, the fence, is it just like a standard 8 foot, looks like an 8 foot tall fence with like?
Yeah, it's gonna be taller than what you would think is an average fence.
Right.
One, because they're trying to hide, they're trying to cover some of that. Two, they were having some thefts, so they're trying to make it harder
I hate it.
for the theft.
Maybe they'll steal the whole building.
Lastly, I don't know if you can answer this, but currently the town has an ordinance on signage for political candidates for 90 days. But there's at least one community that's, I guess, their HOA said that they're 60. And I have tried to confirm that Lockmead is 30. I just didn't know what power HOAs had to write such ordinances, and if that's legal, because if they can do that, can they change speed limits and?
That's probably, those types of signage and material information like that's usually in the covenants and
Right.
documents.
It
When
is in
you
the covenant.
sign in and
Right.
you agree that living in this community, you're gonna abide by those covenants, so they're voluntarily entering into that as a resident. They're
Gotcha.
signing in and they're
No, they
agreeing
can't,
to
they
those
can't
as the HOA.
extend the municipalities. Like, they can't go over 90 days.
Right.
But
My
they can't go
question
under.
was, can they, well, that's what, we've got two that are under.
Yeah,
They're saying that, yeah,
can't do
And
it.
it's third.
they can do it, is what you're saying.
If they really wanted to
I
press it,
believe
they
so,
could
yeah.
say it's political free speech and you can't
That's
do
what I
anything
was
about it.
gonna
say.
There's an
So-
attorney general opinion that says that.
That's
There is
right.
one.
I'll try and find it for you.
Yeah.
Okay.
But, with Kustoff and I were going out one time, one of the homeowners over there mentioned that.
Yeah.
And he brought up that, you know, that had been
I
said.
know that sometimes they've actually tried to ban it altogether.
Now,
and
they
I-
can,
They can
I
do
think
that.
there's something on the sides of the signs, like
It
the
is.
municipality does,
Mhm.
but as far as,
Putting
you
it
know,
out there.
putting it out there,
Mhm.
yeah.
I mean, yeah, you would think that some people want to keep it out there for free speech forever, but anyways, okay. I was just
Oh, we're
curious.
even, you're even
Yeah.
limited to put things.
I'm
in
biased
the
there. I'll just be
yard,
straight
you know,
from
some
the-
people are
straight from the
talking
bench.
about
It's a biased question.
decorations.
But you do,
I'll see if I can find it, I've got
Yeah.
a work.
that's always been a topic of discussion, because you do get into some ramifications possibly about free speech issues. I know we had a discussion several years ago, as
I'm
far
okay
as
with
like
playing by the
signages,
rules.
billboards.
I just want to
and
make sure
things
that
like
they're okay writing the rules.
Yeah. So, okay. Any other miscellaneous items from the planning commission? Hearing none, citizen concerns, do you have any? Ms. Karen? You good? All right.
Motion to
All
adjourn.
right, have a motion to adjourn, do I have a second? Have a second, without objection, we stand adjourned.
There wasn't anybody on the list.
No.